So I'd like to share something with you. This comes out of HOUMAtoday.com, and it's a verdict upheld in exploding e-cigarette case. This is posted on July 10th, 2019. And it says, a little bigger for you. A state appeals court Tuesday upheld, this is in Florida, by the way. A state appeals court Tuesday upheld a verdict of more than $2 million in a case involving an electronic cigarette that exploded and caused damage to a man's teeth. A three-judge panel of the First District Court of Appeal rejected arguments by R-L Sales, LLC, which sold a lithium-ion battery used in the electronic cigarette. The county case was filed against companies that made and sold the electronic cigarette and components, including R-L Sales. At the time of trial, R-L Sales was the only remaining defendant and was found at fault by a jury according to Tuesday's ruling by a three-judge panel of the First District Court of Appeal. The jury awarded $48,000 for medical expenses and $2 million in pain and suffering damages, who had several teeth damaged in the e-cigarette explosion. The appeals court rejected arguments that the jury award was excessive, saying that while it is substantial, it has adequate record support and it is not so large that it shocks the judicial conscience. So, apparently, apparently R-L Sales LLC sold a lithium-ion battery which exploded, and the jury had found that that the R-L Sales LLC was actually liable to this gentleman here for his injury. So the lithium-ion battery, it doesn't say necessarily what type of lithium-ion battery, but apparently this jury believed, after having all the evidence, that the battery itself that was sold by this particular vendor, let me pause this and see if I can find this vendor. This is the battery that was left after it exploded. That's what it looks like. But it was actually an EFES battery that happened there. But let's get to it. So it says traditionally lithium-ion batteries are used in power tools and flashlights where the drain and discharge of energy is not as demanding as an e-cigarette, which gets really hot really quick. But anyway, get to the point of this. So the gentleman used the device for 2 months without issue. He was at the home of his parents on February 29, 2016, when the incident occurred. Started to inhale the subject vaporizer when suddenly and without warning, the subject battery and vaporizer exploded in his mouth. The batteries originated with a Chinese company named EFES, which purchases low-grade batteries from companies such as Sony and Panasonic. R-L Sales, which is based in Utah, imports them from China and sells them online. Had a duty to adequately test the batteries and vaporizers to ensure that they did not present a danger. It was negligent in failing to do that. Wow, that's interesting. They contended the battery was altered after it was sold, was misused, was exposed to liquids that could damage it, was not stored properly, was used with an unimproved charger. But after a 4-day trial, the jury found R-L sales at fault and awarded the damages. So this was an EFES battery. I don't know how long that vapor was vaping, but I mean, everyone pretty much knows don't use an EFES battery. These are subgrade batteries. And I'm sure the looks of this particular picture, this is the battery that was left over. See, it shows the inner workings of the battery after it exploded. What I could tell from reading this is that he actually used it in a 2-mech mod. It is probably what he was using it in. To put an EFES battery in a 2-mech mod, you're looking for trouble anyway. But what's really interesting about this is that it had a duty to adequately test the batteries in vaporizers to ensure that they did not present a danger. Now, they're a vendor or a retailer. And according to this particular jury, they believed that the retailer had a legal duty to test the batteries in the retail shop before they sold the batteries. That's rather interesting. I don't know how you could necessarily test the batteries. I mean, like this gentleman used the battery for 2 months and then it exploded. I mean, if R-L sales tested the batteries for all the batteries they have for 2 months, there won't be probably anything left of the batteries to sell, as far as the charge is concerned. I find that rather interesting. But apparently this jury and then the appeals court agreed with the jury and didn't think that the money damage was excessive. But it shows you that here's a lawsuit in regards to a lithium-ion battery, and you could lose in cases like this due to negligence on the part of the person that sells the battery or even makes the battery. I don't know if they went after EFES in regards to this lawsuit, but definitely a lower grade battery. Everyone knows that. I don't buy EFES at all. I'll buy Samsung 25Rs, things of that nature, but I'll buy like a Sony VTC 6 or 5, but never an EFES. But anyway, I just want to share this with you, show you that apparently you can lose when it comes to a lithium-ion battery case. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Bye.